Cloudy Friday night with a few rain showers, the low down to 54. Cloudy and warmer on Saturday with scattered rain showers, the high 65. Cloudy with rain likely Saturday night, the low down to 58. That's the latest from Oak 93.5. I'm now cast meteorologist Matthew Harding.
No cat, no shade, no judge, all facts, gotta keep it 100. No cat, no shade, no judge, all facts, gotta keep it 100.
No cap, no shade, no judge, all real, all facts, keep it 100. No cap, no shade, no judge, all real, all facts, keep it 100. No cap, no shade, no judge, all real, all facts, keep it 100. No cap, no shade, no judge, all real, all facts, keep it 100. Keep it 100. Hey, keep it 100. Hey, keep it 100. Hey, gotta keep it 100. Hey, keep it 100. Hey, gotta keep it 100. Hey, keep it 100. Hey, gotta keep it 100.
Hey, everybody! It's Keepin It 100. We back. Well, at least I'm back.
I'm back too.
I have been on vacation, about to do it again, but it's the last one for the whole year, so I'm gonna be back steady and ready for 2024. But missed you guys. I know the last time the guys had the show men's night, it was like so I think they did a really good job, even though I was calling in from the airport. Because they was working my nerve. They was working my nerve talking about a different world. But I don't know what you guys been up to. I went to Houston. I went to California. I'm about to go on a cruise. But that's me for the end of the year. I'm done. So I will be here. I'm missing one more show, and they're gonna hold it down for me. But I'm done for the year. Okay. So what you got going on?
Nothing, trying to get this new place together, new house together, and get everything
Congratulations.
straight. My mom's birthday is the 3rd, so we having a party for her this
we about
weekend.
To turn up.
I've been trying to get things together for that, and that's about it, ripping around the mom things.
Okay. So we do have a new friend in the house tonight. Ooh. Can you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
My name is Fruit, and I'm originally from New York.
Okay, you can hear it. You can hear a little bit of that still in there. Where you living at now?
I'm in New York. Right
you
now
I'm
in New York, yeah.
Okay, what part of New York you in?
Newburgh, upstate.
Okay. Ain't it cold up there right now?
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold.
There's nothing like New York cold. Like that's crazy. New York cold is a whole different animal. You know, I think it only rivals Texas cold. Texas got that dry, cut you even when it's cold. Right. So, but tonight we're gonna come together. It's ladies' night tonight. We're gonna talk about what we want to talk about. Right. Forget the guys. It's all about us tonight. First, before we even get started, because it's gonna be a heavy show a little bit tonight. We're gonna talk about the stabbing at Southeast Raleigh on Monday. Rest in peace to Devin, the boy that lost his life. Condolences to the family, their friends, even down to the boy that did the stabbing, his family. Everybody right now is suffering. Kids are like a powder keg right now, and the adults need to be the saving grace for these kids right now. They need to be praying for them. They need to be talking to them. They need to get them to come together, because right now, at this point in your life, you should be having the most fun of your life. High school, the I just booked a cruise for my high school for a reunion cruise. There were beefs back in the day. People didn't like each other. There were fights, but we fought. And, you know, back in the day, you fought Monday, you were cool by next week, you know, and now we're grown because that stuff from then, it don't matter to us now. There's so much more in your life that you're going to have to deal with than the stuff that's going on right now. And, you know, we just feel like these kids just don't understand that this right now, and to them, and we don't want to belittle their feelings, to them, what they're going through is important. Right. They think it's the be all end all. And we get it. I get it. How, you know, we want to, you know, I'm not going to invalidate your feelings about whatever you're going through. But at the end of the day, life is more important than anything. Right. You know, somebody's peace, somebody's happiness is more important than anything. So it don't matter if you're being bullied, if you're the bully, you know, person bullying people, if you're the person who, you know, doesn't have the friends, the most popular person, it doesn't matter what your status is. At the end of the day, every parent wants their child to come home. Right. Every parent wants their child to go to school and be at peace, not have to worry about anything, you know, at least I'm talking as a mom. So
every parent, as we like, if anyone sees the videos of what's going on with the Southeast, every parent is not doing what they're supposed to be doing right now, though. You know, some people, like when you said the parents should be out here encouraging kids to do better, they're, from the videos that I've seen and all of this, like they're encouraging drama and violence. Yeah. You got your kids out here fighting, you letting them fight, you
standing beside them,
you know, and it's I know fighting happens. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's a difference between fighting and then guns and knives and males hitting girls and girls hitting guys too, because it goes both ways. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of other stuff that happened that even before the parents should have stopped things before them kids went to school.
There's a lot of stuff that hasn't been said, a lot of stuff that people don't know. There's two sides to every story. Then there's the truth. There's just so much going on. And of course, I can't speak on it because I don't know the ins and outs of what the real deal is.
None of us do, besides people.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Except for the people that's in the middle of it. And, you know, I'm just praying for peace because I don't want another mom to lose their child, either to, you know, to the grave or to the jail.
But is at this point, it's like, is it too late, you know, to even grab a hold of and do anything with? Because
I don't ever believe it's too late.
Right. When I say that, I mean, like, are they too far gone right now? Especially since a friend of theirs have passed, you know, that just added fuel to the fire. They were already on fire. Now a friend has passed, and now they think they really street, and it's.
I think that a parent who has been a parent who has their child's attention, a parent who has their child's respect. There's never too far gone, because when you sit down and you can talk to that person, because I'm the type of mom that if my child has an issue with somebody, we're going to sit down together and figure it out. Because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, when people have disagreements, it's because of miscommunication. This, that, and the third said this, that, and the third, and this person over here said this, and by the time we get back to this person, it's a whole different story. And when you put two individuals face to face and they say what it is they have to say, and they can squash it right then and there. Now, it's not always that easy. And I don't believe, now my dad might laugh at this, I don't believe in fighting, but I was one of those ones in school that I never fought for me. Mm-hmm. It was always because somebody was messing with somebody smaller than them. Mm-hmm. I was just that person. Let me see you bullying somebody else. Right. You know, and at this point in time, I think that the parents need to really just grab a hold of your kid. Right. When I say grab them, I mean physically grab a hold of your kid and sit them down. Get to the heart of whatever the issue is and then you need to come together with whoever they have a problem with, and as parents talk first. Get that understanding, and then bring those kids in and figure out what's going on with them.
Right.
You know, and I'm a true believer that I'm not saying that single moms can't hold it down, because that's a lie.
Right.
But I will say, in this kind of situation, you need a trusted male on both sides who have a level head and are there to help diffuse the situation. Because honestly, and I'm going to be honest, there is nothing the average mother can do, two mothers can do with two grown, almost grown boys who really, really want to fight. There's nothing you can be able to do to stop that.
Right.
So I believe in talking. I believe in getting to the bottom of the issue. And I think that's where the solution to all of this lies, is to talk and figure out what's going on. People need to be able to be held accountable. If you are in the wrong, you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
You're just in the wrong. You know, and you can't hide behind he say, she say. If you're wrong, you're just wrong. And in this situation, it ain't about no adults. If you're an adult and you're in it, you need to get out of it. It's about the kids. Find out what's going on with these kids, because at the end of the day, 2023 should not be the end of a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, and 16-year-old's life
At school.
at school. Now, I say that to say this. Now, I'm going to call out this news station, because when I say I was heated, already upset at what was happening at a school in my community. And for WRAL they were out there covering the news, which is fine. I mean, that's what they're supposed to do. But in the same breath of you saying rest in peace to this young man, this baby, really, you post an article under the video that says Southeast Raleigh has more criminal acts and arrests than any other high school in North Carolina. Now, I'm not debating you about the stats, because one, you didn't give it in context. Southeast Raleigh is not even one of the largest schools in North Carolina by far. It's probably one of the smallest. And to give that context, give that information without context, then you're doing a disservice to Southeast, number one. Number two, how coward are you to post that, Allie Ingersoll, to post that kind of information at a time when parents are finding out that their child is gone, that their child is in jail, that their child is in the hospital, that kids are scared. They're calling to calling 911, reporting what's going on. But you're going to post that kind of nonsense underneath the video.
Right.
And to me, it was cowardly, because one, you didn't say it on the news. You just posted the article. And to me, it's like a dog whistle. I know exactly what you were trying to imply. Well, what do you expect? It was bound to happen, you know, and to sit there and do that was unacceptable. It was disrespectful, and it was cowardly. Allie Ingersoll, she's the one that did the article. Her and, I'm sorry, what's the other girl's name? What's her name? Emily Walkenhorst. So to sit here and post that at this particular time, it was highly disrespectful, because when you can see the narrative, and everybody says, oh, it's never about race. It's always about race.
Right.
It's always about race, because what you did when there's a mass shooting, that person is mentally ill. That person had family issues. You know,
For this case, is because of the school.
Because of the school. And you're setting the narrative by talking about how, you know, there are more arrests, there's more criminal acts. You're setting the stage for this school to say, well, hey, what you expect? This, look at the school. This is their stats, and you sat here and after you posted that article, you set the narrative for people to start talking about the school. Because underneath the article, the first comment was blacks. That's all he said. And I did address him. I did. I shouldn't have, but I did under the article. Because you're not going to sit here and try to downplay somebody losing their life, somebody going to jail, somebody being in the hospital, and reduce it because it was blacks. Because it was as if the stabbing was a black crime, but the mass shootings are white crimes.
All right.
I mean, to even make that comparison is utterly asinine. I mean, but I'm gonna get off of that because when I say Allie Ingersoll, I think that you're a coward. That if you want to post that, you should have said it on the news versus putting an article underneath the boy, the tribute to the little boy or the news report about the boy losing his life. You're a coward. Period. That's all I gotta say about it.
Right.
But anyway, with all the kids that are posting stuff, you guys, we understand that you're upset for whatever reason, for whatever side that you may be on. But at the same time, there are innocent people around you guys. There are people who care about you, each one of you. And I will say Principal Harden, he's the principal at Southeast. He's been there. I'm not sure how many years he's there. I know I met him for the first time this year. But he genuinely cares about these kids. You have coaches, that genuinely care about these kids. Coach Campbell, I entrusted my son to him when he was at Southeast. And you can say what you want about Southeast, but Southeast turns out some of the brightest kids coming out of North Carolina.
All right.
So say what you want to say. But those people who work there and genuinely care about these kids, he came in there to make a difference. And for you to sit here and you brought up stats and you didn't even tell when these stats were. When's the last time you even made a stat like that? When did you rerun these numbers that you call yourself putting out now? That man is working hard
and
to make
also,
this.
they act like it's the kids come from one neighborhood. They come from different places. So
Of course, they come from different places.
So that doesn't make sense either. You can't. When I was living in Garner, I was going all the way to Middle Creek.
Yeah.
So let's just say that was the case. They had the most crime. That don't have nothing to do
With the neighborhood that you live in.
That's just the kids that are at the school and where they come up from and where they raised. They don't have nothing to do with the
That
neighborhood.
school, exactly. When my daughter had to go all the way to Apex,
Yeah,
to school.
we did too. I did too.
And it's like there are kids that are bussed out of this Southeast Raleigh. There are kids that are bussed into Southeast Raleigh.
Right.
And so, are you saying that the kids that come from another city, that come in here, that may be the ones that's
Right.
causing? You don't know. Mm-hmm. So stop trying to make it seem like Southeast Raleigh is this, and that. Mm-hmm. It's not.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, if you guys have any commentary on what we're talking about tonight, you guys can call in. It's 919-899-9305. Okay, so that was I was on my soapbox about that one because that one hit home for me. I'm a proud Southeast Bulldog parent. I've had my oldest next to the oldest stepson went to Southeast. Josh went to Southeast.
Yeah.
And of course Jabari went to Southeast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're two of the brightest minds I know. Mm-hmm. So it's just very unfortunate that people who don't live here or in that area want to downplay where those kids come from.
Right.
So
they all come from different places.
Exactly. Hey, Derek.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you guys got? And you had a topic you want to talk about tonight.
That generation. It
Okay.
was going to be that. I was in
Was it Generation Z?
Z. Yes,
1997 to 2012. That's a big gap.
it is. That generation is so
Out of control.
poisoned. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
out of control. They're poisoned. They're messed up. I do blame the millennials and
Generation X.
Generation X. Because,
Yeah, that's my generation.
us, we were examples, but then most of the parenting and stuff like that comes from, your generation as far as it going down the line. And I don't know, they're off the chain. They're doing stuff
There's
that we didn't.
no respect for adults.
No, at
there's no
all.
respect for elders. I was in that generation where when I was younger, I didn't curse.
I've never seen nobody fight a teacher.
Yeah. To hit an elderly teacher, to get in a teacher's face and throw them to the ground because you're stronger or bigger than they are. And then you have parents who, when they do come and see about the kid, the first thing they want to say is, well, what you do to them?
Yeah. Even if that's the case, you never, and they recording it, they doing this. Like it was a video with a little boy and the dad was recording, like, who hit you? Which one of these teachers hit you? Okay. You ask your kid, you let your kid point it out, but that's not how you do it. You don't
No.
do it in front of them. You don't do oh, you hit my kid, cussing them out. You don't do that. It's a way that you do it. If a teacher hit me back in the day, I'm sure y'all would have handled it, not busting up in the classroom, screaming and yelling, who hit you? Which one of y'all? You would have went to the office.
Oh yeah, we
figured
would have
out,
called a
them
meeting.
down.
We would have
Yes.
called a meeting because I didn't
Yes.
see you face to face.
They don't do that no more. It's just busting up in there. Let's handle it, and the teachers letting them do it.
Yeah.
I don't understand how these parents is getting past the office and everywhere else to even get in the classrooms.
Now I will tell you the incident that I had with Jacob when he was going to Carnage, and my son, and we talk about him all the time. Jacob was a straight A student. I mean, smart as can be. He was always a grade or two above his level while he was in school. And he had a teacher once that said, she had a very strong Indian accent. So he really couldn't understand a lot of what she was saying. And it was a math class. I think it was a math class. And he kept asking her to repeat herself. And whatever got into her, she told him, I don't even know why you in this class. Now, Jacob knows better than to be disrespectful.
Right.
But he did tell her, well, I'm in this class. I'm the top 5% in this class. So, of course, I'm going to be in this advanced class. And she was like, it was a conversation. She said something else to him. But she ended up saying, she said something to him kind of out of the way. And then she followed up with, and tell your mama what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Because it's about race. I'm a black mom.
Right.
Okay? You don't say that to a black mama.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her what I said.
You don't say it's no mom. Period.
Exactly.
But
And so I was like, okay. So, of course, I'll try to follow the chain of command. I try to do things in the diplomatic way.
Right.
Okay? It was hard. So my sister wrote the letter for me because I couldn't keep my attitude out of the letter. So she wrote this letter for me. By the time she finished, it was one of those letters where you cuss somebody out without saying a cuss word.
Right.
And so the principal actually called me to her office. And she called me, my dad, and his dad, right? And so when we got there, it was just him in the office with her. And we were like, okay, where's the teacher? Because she's a part of this.
Right.
Which goes back to communication. When you get
It's
all
her.
parties in the same room, there's no way for there to be miscommunication.
Right.
And she's like, well, I wanted to get the gist of what was going on first before we brought her in. Well, I said, and Jacob sat down and he told her verbatim what happened. And she was like, and we were had a very good relationship. And she said, well, Jacob, why didn't you say something to me? And he says, well, I don't know. I said, because I told him, I said, he talks to his teacher, tells the teacher what was going on, if there's an issue at school. But the teacher was the issue.
Right.
So his next stop was to come to me. He came to me first. I said, and then I addressed you and the teacher, going forward. And so she never brought the teacher in there. because she knew I was in that mood. And so she was like, now I wouldn't have put my hands on her, but she would have got ripped to shreds with this. Because you don't disrespect a child because he don't understand you. You knew you were in a North Carolina middle school. You know you have an accent, so you don't get mad because somebody has trouble understanding you. And so she never came to the office, and the principal told me, she said, Ursula, she called me Cookie. She said, Cookie, I will go to his classroom every day and sit in that classroom to make sure that nothing happens, there's nothing said to him. I said, you don't have to do that, because I can bet you she won't even call on him the rest of this school year. And she didn't. Jacob said he would raise his hand. She would not call on him at all. Why? Because you already knew you crossed the line. But these teachers now, the parents now go to the school and want to fight the teachers.
Right.
Because the kid said something without
Instead of
talking to
just
the, without going, finding out what happened at first. And if your kid sees you go to the school and your first act is to fight, how can you blame them for what they did? They getting it from somewhere. But the gentleman, but the middle schooler or high schooler that jumped on the woman because she told him to take she told him to put his phone up, and he followed her out in the hallway and beat her, and they had to pull him off of her.
Oh, I see.
To me, there's more going on there than taking a phone.
A little girl, the guy took the little girl phone and she pepper sprayed him.
What?
So,
The teacher?
yeah.
That's considered a weapon at school, right?
Well, I don't know.
That's considered a weapon.
Don't get me lying, but I know that she pepper sprayed him. He dropped down. He wasn't funny, but he dropped to his knees and
Wait a minute.
he wouldn't let go of that phone though. He did not let go of the phone.
Wait, the teacher pepper sprayed the
no,
kid.
the kid pepper sprayed him with her keychain.
Oh wow.
Sure did.
But I think Generation X had a lot to do with the decline in the kids, not to the point that they are now, but it's always a slippery slope, because I used to work in the tobacco fields and the cucumber fields, and I used to have to, feed the dogs and work in the garden and do stuff outside, help my dad, do the things that, because my brother wasn't there. So of course I had to help fix stuff around the house.
Me too.
I didn't want, exactly, but I didn't want my kids to have to do that. So I was a little bit more lenient on them than my mom and dad were on me. And I think it just gets more and more like this.
Y'all, she said she didn't want her kids to go through this.
Huh?
I was the first child, and I went through it all. I got shot
was
by
rugged.
electric fence throwing
She was
throwing
rugged.
the scraps to the dogs.
There's a difference. She was rugged. Now I will say that the youngest baby, she's the baby of the family, and
Jacob will be more in the field than she would be.
Yeah, he's gonna be more outside. He's more rugged, and he's strong. He's a football player, baseball player, so he's used to manual. My daughter is all about getting her lashes done and making sure her hair is done and her outfit is her fit. Her fit is right, And if I say, go clean the kitchen up, she's like, oh, Mom,
Right,
and I'm like, girl, I used to have to wash dishes for my mom used to cook a full course meal every night.
Okay.
5 and 6 pots, and you talking about 1 or 2 pots on the stove. But I do think that if we don't start taking our kids back now, that when is it going to be too late? Is it too late now? I don't think so.
Is it pretty damaged? Yes.
It's damaged. It's very
Very
damaged.
bad. Like some of the millennials are still kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So they all had kids, a lot of kids, because now it's back to women having 7, 8, 9 kids again, because that has stopped. It was grandma and granddaddy's
Well, now
age.
they had 7, 9 kids, but they had a man at the house.
Yeah, but see, that's what I was saying.
7, 9 kids, and you ain't got a man at the house. There's might be a problem.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I don't know. I just think that I think that if they don't really get a hold of these kids now, and there's nothing wrong with teaching your kids. All of my kids know self defense. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But my son doesn't fight because of course, he's a second degree black belt, but he doesn't fight because in the course of teaching him how to defend himself, they also taught him how to restrain himself, how to
Right.
solve his
Self-defense.
problems without having to resort to violence.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a key part of it. There's nothing wrong with teaching your kid to defend themselves, but teaching them that that's their first rule is to go to fighting, I have a problem with it. That's just my opinion. But, and I know, Fruit, you got something you wanted to talk about tonight. What you got to talk about?
I just wanted
Because
to
you awfully
touch-
quiet over there.
No, I'm just enjoying myself. But I definitely did want to touch bases with the topic of addiction.
Oof.
Currently in today's world, it's back out of control like how it was a very long time ago when a lot of us were babies. And it's a super touchy topic just because a lot of people that I went to school with and grew up with are now, falling victim to overdose and death at the, young age of 30. So I definitely did want to just touch some bases and not just drug addiction. I did want to, touch the bases of addiction in general. We're talking about alcohol. We're talking about gambling,
It's all an addiction. Hey, Larry Jr., how you doing, baby?
People don't like to say they have an addiction.
No.
Even
Yeah.
if it's like only because of the label that everybody has put on addiction.
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm addicted to food or fast food or something like that, I don't want to say I'm addicted because of the word addiction. Addiction.
Well, it goes hand in hand with abuse.
Yeah.
Or being a victim. Nobody wants to, because when you admit to having an issue, people tend to think that's weakness. And I'm not a domestic violence. I'm not I'm not being abused domestically because I'm this and I'm that. But you don't have to hide behind. Addiction is not a bad word.
Yeah. Right.
People are addicted to a lot of things. And I think like you said back in the day, addiction, it was a norm for Hollywood. People talked about doing quaaludes and drugs and cocaine and all this other stuff. It was that lifestyle.
That's how they got the people to loosen up and get them to do what they get them out the box
Exactly.
in order to get that. Yeah.
And then like we talked about the whole Bill Cosby case. Well, he slipped me quaaludes. I don't think whether he slipped you that, I don't know or not. But the problem I have with with addiction, that in that day and age, quaaludes was a thing that almost everybody was doing in that scene.
Yeah. So he probably didn't slip it. He gave it to you and you took it.
He gave it to you and you took it.
Right.
You you just didn't know how it was going to affect you.
Yeah,
which
and
is
it
why,
scared you.
Exactly, which is why we tell people all the time. I tell my kids, I'm like, you can't go out here trying any and everything out here in the street because now people lace it with different things. Fentanyl is a real deadly thing, and people don't understand that. And when you have, and this is gonna sound so stupid, I just don't know how else to word it. Drugs aren't as safe now as they was back then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want it to sound like it was a good thing back then either.
But it was pure then.
But it was more
now,
pure.
People
now
are trying to stretch it to get more money.
More money.
They really doing it too. People are doing it, trying to stretch it, to sell it too and live the lifestyle. The guy, I don't know if anybody seen the article earlier about the guy they found in the park, dead.
What?
Yeah, today here in Raleigh.
Well, he OD'd too.
morning.
He
Oh my
OD'd.
gosh.
Yeah. So
Wait, where was this?
this morning at the park, you say Tarboro Park, across from the new the Bojangles and the Cookout on New Bern Avenue.
Oh, the park down that street, like where the
look like
community
it's-
center
yes,
is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
He OD'd.
I think it's Mr. Willie.
So he
Yeah.
So he did whatever he did and either tried to walk home or he did
He
it
might have
out
did it sitting
where
there.
he was sitting there.
Because it
and-
don't take long for you to do a bad drug and it take you out right then.
Yeah.
You usually don't get to walk down the street and do all of that.
I tell these
And
kids.
people, I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead. No, go ahead.
people are not even overdosing; they're being poisoned.
Yeah.
They're not overdosing. They're not taking too much of
Yeah.
something and dying off of it. They're taking poison that's being served out here, and they're dying of it, which is a difference.
Yeah.
Back in the day, overdose meant I pumped too much heroin, or I snorted too much cocaine, or I did whatever too much of something. Now you could take a little bit of fentanyl, and then now you're dead.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I tell kids, I tell my kids, I tell the kids that, call me auntie. It does not take, it only takes one time. It could be your first time trying anything.
Yeah, right.
It takes one time to get something bad. You could go to this one person and get drugs for the last 20 years.
Right.
And then they go and they want to buy something from somebody who now wants to make more money, decides to cut it different, wants to add something to it to make it stretch, and then all of a sudden you dead. It's like I said, you don't know what you're getting. Honestly, which is why, I don't smoke marijuana. I don't do weed, but I'm very for dispensaries because that stuff is pure.
Yes, you know where it's coming from.
You know where it's coming from. You know it's not laced with anything. So if you have to go get it from a dispensary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that simple. This is like, people are, oh, well, I don't want no babies. Well, use a condom.
Okay.
I mean, there are just so many simple fixes to this stuff. And also with addiction, you put stuff in it that gets people more addicted than they should,
Yeah.
It's instead of it being a recreational thing, it turns into an addiction. Which is why a lot of men and women, when we went to Germany when I was in the military, the alcohol over there is way stronger than it is over here. So you come over here, you drink a 40 and you got a buzz. You go over there
Right.
and you drink the equivalent of a 40 over there, you laid out. And then you get used to it, your body gets adjusted to it, then you come back over here
It's weak. You burnt out.
and you got to drink, twice as much, 3 times as much just to get that same high or that same buzz. Before you know it, liver's gone.
Right.
You just have to understand that addiction is a real thing and people don't get it. They think, oh, well, I'm not addicted. If you can't stop,
Right.
even for a minute, for your own health, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Well, even I feel like it's people out here that gamble that they might stop for a day or two or something like that, but they still like it's killing them or that's still addiction. Even even if it's all you thinking about on your brain is going, or let's just say stop smoking weed, or and all you can do is smell it and just want it, and you're just thinking about it, and that's still addiction. Like you're not if you can't be at peace without doing it, that is
Exactly.
you're addicted to it.
Well, shout out to my son's watching. Jacob's watching. 919 Honcho, DJ out of Greensboro, North Carolina. If you need a DJ, please hit him up on Instagram at 919 Honcho. Okay, so what do you think as far as addiction? I don't think there's enough programs, especially in our community, because our community looks down on getting help. The black community don't do counseling, either be it for addiction, be it for marriage, be it for abuse. They just don't look. They look down on counseling because again, it makes them look weak.
They have a few places here that do it, but they're giving the drugs. Don't they give them drugs at the place?
It's like a small dose to wean them off.
Wean them off, yeah.
So that the withdrawal is not too much because withdrawal can kill you.
So and a lot of people is abusing that. A lot of people
Wow.
Yeah.
will abuse that privilege. Like, will keep trying to get it going keep it as long as they can. It's people I know that will go to the methadone clinic or go to the clinic just to get that because they haven't had what they
Wow.
need, you know. But they definitely have. They have Southlight and little places like that, which you have to pay. It's not free.
Yeah, and
Which
then
is-
you have to want the help.
Yeah.
You have to admit that you have a problem, that there is an addiction, and not live in denial. We have to also shed a little light on a lot of the rappers and artists that are back in the limelight and making it okay and acceptable to do drugs, and we're bragging about it and we rapping about it, and kids look up
I've never just understood
to
that. Like,
kids look up to a lot of stuff, so I'm drinking lean, and now the kids they want to see
lean.
what it's about, and they want to be rappers too.
Yeah. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. When I tell you I hate that
because
saying.
why would you think? Just to speak on that real quick, King.
Oh,
Why would he think that he? What made him think that he wasn't fed with a silver spoon, or that he was in the trenches or something? Whatever he tried to say, you were not. We all seen it for ourselves, and as you said, you wanted to be outside of the gates.
let me tell you something. the fact that even when you don't know what you're talking about, you're telling yourself. Because he was like, I wasn't even filming over there. I was at my grandma's house. Well, first of all,
Your grandma was at the house.
she was always at the house. Number one.
Right.
Number two, if T.I. and Tiny both got their own money, do you not think their moms are well taken care of?
Right.
So even if you was over at your grandmama's house, you was still well taken care of.
They play like multiple clips of him just crying all the time. Okay, everybody's laughing at that. I laughed a few times too. But to me, that makes me feel like he was emotionally damaged as far as like maybe the fame. The fame might have been too much for him as a child.
Yeah.
Because every clip that I watched where he was just crying, it was about him being somebody.
Somebody said something in the comments. I was reading a comment that said that he almost acted like he was like ADD or
Like someone's wrong. He's always done that. He's always been like that.
Something was
though.
not quite, not saying that it wasn't quite right with him. Something was, he was just a little off. You
yeah.
know, like his actions were a little off.
And he's
Because
been like that for a while.
everybody else, even though they were young too, they acted like normal teenagers.
He was always crying.
He was always begging for attention. And one of the telltale signs was when he says, I need to be famous now because if I don't do it now, I'll be trying to catch up. And I'm like, catch up to what?
But that's what I said. Maybe that was too big of examples for him. Like seeing his mom and T.I. being so big in the industry. Maybe he felt like, oh my God, if I don't. And then let me see.
And then his sister, his older sister, Tiny's daughter.
Right, she had something going on, and it, like
not King, DeMonte, he had something going on.
now he's got something out now.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
And I get it. Being the youngest of that whole clan, it had to be hard.
Not everybody just because you.
Not everybody's gonna be a superstar.
Just because you came out of one don't mean you're gonna be a singer or a rapper. You could just be the regular kid.
And you know what? Honestly, I would be okay.
Okay, fund me for my own business.
Exactly.
And I'm chilling.
And even the little girl now, the baby.
Yeah, she is. She's
beautiful, and
she sounds
like a little angel.
Yes.
And I get it, but people are dragging T.I. because he grabbed King and put him in the headlock.
His son, he grown. He should have put him in the headlock back
That
on the
part.
show. Then we
That
could have
part.
did all that. But he should have been did that. And it seemed like King was trying to muscle up anyways.
Yeah. But what got me,
He
and
not
it
no
took
baby.
to me it took a little bit longer for T.I. to snatch him up than I would have, because he was like, he started calling the N-word. And I'm like, okay, first of all, rap or no rapper,
Right.
what you not fixing to do is call me out my name.
How you gonna act like we didn't watch you grow up? You forgot that we all watched
It was
you grow
on
up.
and he was like, well, I left with my grandmama's house. You filmed almost all day and all night, so if you was over there, you went to sleep and came back over there next morning.
Because she, like they said, because she let you suck the pacifier.
Exactly. But when you that goes back to pacifying, because even Ti said stop coddling him, stop babying him, because this, as old as he was in that scene, he had to be what, 12, 10, what, about 10, 9, something like that, and they were coddling him, and he says let him go, figure out how he feels on his own, figure it out by himself, and let him deal with it. But they kept trying to grab his face, and don't get me wrong, I love my son. And I don't want to see him.
That's what I do to Mari. If Mari gets discriminated, he can cry as long as he wants. I'm not doing it because you need to figure out what it is. Like, I'm not going to keep saying, what's wrong, because it just added fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Cry until you figure it out. When you figure it out, all right. But I'm not going to keep trying to figure it out.
When, having my first child, and, he was crying, as a mom, I didn't know what was wrong. I'm thinking in my mind that you're supposed to know why your child is crying. And sometimes they just nothing's gonna make them happy. They just need to cry it out. And your brother said, leave him alone, let him cry, and he will figure out what's wrong with him. Now, mind you, he was walking at the time. He just started walking, and he was just, no matter what you gave him, he didn't want it. He didn't want it. He didn't want no food. He didn't want no bottle. He didn't want no nothing. No nothing.
He wanted to get in the bed with y'all.
Yeah, and he was like, and he told me, he says, no, you're not getting in the bed. So you need to go and find a way to comfort yourself in your room. Right. We bought the car's bed. We bought the, all kind of stuff to make him want to be in his bed. Nothing worked. Right. And finally, we broke him from wanting to get in our bed. But boom, here come another one, and it was Jamia, which then all of a sudden I come home at night and she in the bed cuddled up with her dad, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, no, we're not doing that.
Jamia was with me.
That's true.
She get to crying, I'll go right up the stairs and get her.
That's true.
Bring her
I thought for a long time she thought AJ was her mama. But I just think that T.I. should have, like you said, he should have did that a long time ago.
He's grown now, so should nobody feel any type of way. King is old enough to get choked up. T.I. kept telling him, you are embarrassing yourself, you are embarrassing your family.
Exactly.
He kept saying it in the background. You are embarrassing your family.
And he said it. And I guess what you say, T.I. was standing on business because he meant what he said. He's like, you're sitting here, you're embarrassing yourself, and you're embarrassing your family. And the only thing he could say, I'm standing on business. And I had to ask my daughter, please tell me what that means.
Now look, y'all been memes and jokes and emoji. Y'all been memes all week and jokes. That's what he meant by you embarrassing your family.
Exactly.
Now they trying to say you not his son, and then you somebody.
No, that's crazy.
Like they done posted him with another man.
People gonna take it as far as they can take it, and
it's
views.
all because they asked you about roaches in your ears. Because that's all it started. He's like, have you ever had roaches? He tried to make it seem like he was from the ghetto, from the hood. No, you was not. You was from
the only thing
gates.
I saw was that house that T.I. bought when they first bought it. It had holes in the walls. But what he did was he bought a house, a big mansion that needed some work, and he went and fixed it, and now they have a beautiful house.
Exactly.
But he wanted to make it seem like who wants to? It's people that lie on social media constantly about what they got because they don't have it.
So the same thing with him. He don't have, like Megan Good in ATL. She wanted to be ghetto. She wanted to be in the hood so bad. She didn't have to. That's because she never experienced it. All the other kids had it. Why I can't be in the hood? Why I can't be poor?
Stupid.
Right.
But then the opposite is now Sukiyana, who embraced her ratchetness, but now all of a sudden she wants to turn over a new leaf. And I'm like, okay, you can't turn over a new leaf and be ratchet on top of the other leaf, the other side, but then want people to forget that what you was doing on this side.
Right.
You out here with a march talking about your vagina. Got people holding up signs.
It was, for me, it was her having a tour. It was called a Good Cat Tour.
Yeah.
But all ages could go.
What are you doing? Please tell me what. And see, this is where it comes a double standard, because they're talking about, the schools don't need to be teaching the LGBT community, whatever, the genders, whatever.
They're killing me about that.
They don't need to be doing that. But then you turn around and you want to sexualize the children also. And like I was telling you last night, when my daughter put the outfit on tonight, she looked a certain way. She's going on a cruise. She looked a certain way. But then she added one piece of that whole outfit, and it turned the whole look different.
Yeah.
So you can't sit here. You're going to sexualize. Why would a 12-year-old be at a good cat?
A 10-year-old, 8-year-old, because it said no limit. It ain't no age on it. So
What are you doing?
7-year-old could
What are
be
you
at the
doing?
Good Cat tour if they wanted to. Singing Suki.
Yeah. I mean, but and then she's like, oh, well, people don't forget I'm human and I'm this. Well, if you got feelings and you're crying because people aren't taking you seriously, then you need to start taking yourself seriously and take other people's feelings seriously, because I don't want my child listening to you if that's what you're going to be telling her. Mm-hmm. There's an age to all of this. Trust me. You're going to have your cat all your life.
You're right.
Which means you got until when the age of 17, 18 to start talking about what you can do with it.
All right.
That's your business. Leave these little kids alone. But so to piggyback off of that, Diddy and Cassie.
Lord.
What do you know about that whole situation? Because
I don't.
I'm confused.
A mess.
Because she filed it that morning and closed it that afternoon.
This is all old, right?
It just happened. But what's new is the fact that all of the things that are coming out behind it.
From the old stuff. So something new just happened. I thought this was all old, just all surfacing from what he did to her back in the day. Something just recently happened.
Yeah, all the people that's coming out talking about what he did.
I'm talking about with him or her. This is
she's because they have been together for a minute.
Right.
She just filed a lawsuit. It was this what, a couple months ago, or a month ago, a couple weeks ago, and said that he made her get breast implants.
Shave her head.
Made her shave her head, and then he didn't like the breast implants, so he made her take them out post-op before she was even healed and had them redone, and crazy stuff.
He didn't make you. What, did he put a gun to your head? What did he do? How did he make you? Because Jeezy did his interview, and he said, and he ain't got no reason to lie. He said he was sitting right there when Diddy jumped down and told her, "I want you to shave your head," because he was up there standing with the Caucasian lady that had her head shaved on the side. And young Jeezy said he asked Cassie, "Are you gonna shave your head?" And she told him, "I'm gonna do whatever Diddy wants me to do." And
okay, so now at that point in time, I'm gonna need you just to hush.
Right.
I don't victim blame at all, but I do give out responsibility. Accountability.
Yep.
If you gonna do whatever your man tell you to do, then what you say, what the young kids say, stand on business. You said it, you did it, so don't complain about it years later.
I did see a video of him screaming and yelling in the office. Well, it was really because he was happy, but she might have been scared of him.
Yeah, I mean, scared that she would lose her career.
Yeah, that's about it.
He's done that to people before, so.
Listen,
But at the same, and
I'm not doing nothing.
I'm trying my best to wrap my head around how people allow other people to dictate their life.
I guess money will make a person feel like.
Jabari said she stood on business getting that $30 million.
Okay. Yeah, but you did all of that, and now look at you now. Even if he go to jail today, what are you gonna get? Besides, now everybody know your business. You had implants, took him out, you shaved your head because of him.
I'm about accountability. If my man asks me to do something, and I go and do it, and I willingly go and do it because he asked me to do it, he told me to do it, then how am I going to come back however many years later and then complain about it?
Why was your man asking you to do anything that you even need to talk about?
Exactly.
So wait, we don't know why this resurfaced? Like, why now all of a sudden the lawsuit has been drawn up? Like, is this like
she drew the lawsuit
up?
She
needed like some emotional support. She been going to therapy, and
For
this
what,
was
decades?
this was one of her healing points.
How long ago was this? This
But
is,
wait. It's funny, like you said, and people can say, "Oh, it's because she needed to relieve her, release herself. She was
Yeah.
under all this
what,
burden."
me
But
and you,
but
ain't that 2004? Me and you. Now,
Yeah.
when is that? What are you doing? That
but
was-
wait, but not only that, Angelica, you talking about, like she
Angelica.
said, she relieved. She wanted to get this off her chest, but you filed a lawsuit. He gave you how much money, and now all of a sudden you're burden free.
She done triggered it because now what? R. Kelly. Not R. Kelly. Who else just got in trouble? Everybody getting in trouble now.
Well,
It was another person just got in trouble.
Who was it?
Or
It was-
somebody trying to surface something. It should be a law. After a certain amount of years, no. 5.
I'm sorry, and you
It don't
can say-
take 5 years.
If there is not any evidence,
Even if it is, it don't take you 5 years to get over something like that and tell. If it's taking you that long for you to get your mental together to tell,
yeah, but you can't say that because if you haven't yourself gone through it or don't know anybody that has dealt with something and it literally have been breaking them down, and now all of a sudden they finally want to find the strength to be okay to move past it.
so you need to tell like a therapist. Don't be trying to tell the world after you do.
Yeah, you can't. And
something.
as speaking from somebody who's been through not that kind of situation, but been through a situation where traumatic situation, I don't see if it's so traumatizing to me. I see telling my therapist, I see telling my pastor, I see telling a confidant, I
Not
see
the world.
not going and doing a whole interview or telling the entire world, because if I haven't been able to muster the strength to deal with it, then how am I going to deal with the publicity of everybody knowing about
Unless
it?
I just never cared, and now think, oh, I remember when he touched me that one time. Let me tell it. Same thing with Bill Cosby. How old was these ladies with the allegations that he, like
You've been living your life. Half of y'all been celebrities out in
R.
the
Kelly too.
industry, and all of a sudden you want to talk about 50 years later. Oh, he did
Yeah.
it to me too. Oh, he did it to me too.
You should have
I'm
been
like,
said it.
did you sleep with him?
And back in them days, yes. Back in those days, I don't feel like a lot of that stuff was forced. I feel like, ooh, R. Kelly called me over. Let's go, girl. Or whoever, all these other
Okay.
people, that was something we would be excited about.
I'm gonna say this, and some of these Me Too people gonna get mad, but I've been a Me Too, so you can say what you want. I can say what I won't say. The girl who was instrumental in this whole entire resurfacing of his case,
Who?
the 16-year-old or 14, whatever she was, the one that said that she skipped school, took the bus across town to the courthouse, to his trial every day. She skipped school every day and went to his trial in the hopes of meeting him. And finally, one day, she caught his attention, and somehow they exchanged numbers or whatever. And that's the girl that was instrumental in this whole new surfacing of the new case of how he went to jail. Okay. I'm a firm believer that at 15, 16, 17 years old, do you have the mental capability of dealing with a grown man? No. But do you have the mental capability of knowing right from wrong? You sure do. And the fact that you skipped school,
And got on the bus.
went
Thought about it the whole
cross
way.
town looking to get his attention. You got the attention that you went to seek. Now you got a problem with it.
Is this the,
He was on trial for the video of the young girl that that he was having sex with in his house. That's the trial that she went to. So you knew what he was on trial for. And by all means, I'm not saying that, man, if you did something wrong, you need to go to jail. Period. What I'm saying is,
But what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? What, like, is it, okay, we know what's wrong. We know that certain age is not supposed to be dealing with a certain age. But what's wrong compared to, it's really people out here molesting children, and children is like traumatized from it, compared to a girl being grown, dealing with an older man, or a parent letting them deal with an older
Facts.
man. And you just messing it up for the people that was really molested and hurt for real.
Exactly.
You wasn't hurt. You put yourself in that position, or your mama and your dad let you get yourself in that position. But it's people out here that really was touched and molested and done dirty by older guys, or women too. I guess women do it too. 'Cause Tasiki supposedly.
AJ say hey, Aunt Lee started watching.
Hey.
Hey Lee. But you're right, because there's stories of the mother who took her daughter to the concert.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
the dad too?
Yeah, the dad was there.
Okay, yeah.
And then he called the girl up on stage. They let her go. And then she went backstage. They let her go. Exchanged the phone numbers and all this other stuff. And then he started calling her, and now you got a problem. First of all, my daughter can't go to a R. Kelly concert with me.
No.
She can't even go to an Usher concert with me. Because one, I'm
gonna be the parents that said he tried to get her to come over by herself. And I guess they supposedly tried to stop it at first, but then they was eventually okay with it. Mm-hmm. I seen the documentary, and the mom and the couple that was the dad and the mom, the savages were okay with that. Exactly. They were fine with it. They did not care. They basically sold their kid to him. And then I guess didn't get what they wanted and said something.
But the reason why everything came to a head, it came to a head after his money was gone.
Right.
When you can't pay me anymore, now I'm going to throw you under the bus, because now I can sue you and take the possessions that you got, get them sold, and get more money.
Right.
And like I said, people like, oh, well, you just because you like R. Kelly. I love R. Kelly music. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you right now, with all the allegations against R. Kelly, there is no way I would take my daughter to his concert. No. Ever. I don't believe in victim blaming, but I do believe in accountability.
He doesn't have a song, outside of the You Save Me album, he don't have a song that...
it's not about every song he has about sex.
Yeah, a child needs to hear anyways.
Exactly. Every song he has is about sex. There is not a song he got that me and my daughter can be in the house singing together. Just not gonna happen.
I told you, You Saved Me.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, I Believe I Can Fly.
And I can't believe he did that. Not made a Christian album in between it. After making a real long series about being gay or trapped in the closet. Well, not him about being gay, but trapped in the closet.
Trapped in the closet. Which was a mini. The first time any artist had ever done that, and he had the world on lock.
It played on BET for like a week or something. They kept playing it over and over.
I'm raising my hand. I ain't been long. Watched the whole series again.
Okay. Look, I'm trying to find it.
Only because I liked it. You got to watch it in order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
But he put a lot of people on the map with that too. There's a whole lot of people that want to play Twan. His fine self, but but yeah, I just think that when you have these artists out here with Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, now you got Diddy, and they're quick to talk about these black artists that are embroiled in all this controversy, but you don't hear them mention, and I'm gonna name one, Elvis Presley. Lisa Marie was what, 14?
Right.
And
they don't talk about it.
No, not Lisa Marie. Priscilla. Priscilla was the one he married. Not Lisa Marie's his daughter, I think. Was it Priscilla? Which one was it? I think Priscilla Presley. Whichever one was his daughter. The one that he ended up marrying. That one is the one that was 14. And when they met. So it's been, and then you have not Woody Harrelson. Oh, one of my favorites. I'm sorry. Not something Woods. I can't think of his name. He's a director. But he married his, what was it?
But you see what you're saying?
His step granddaughter, or wait a minute. There was a black artist that did that. It was he married his adoptive daughter or something like that.
But you see the difference. Well, it is no difference, but the difference.
There's no difference.
It's no difference, but the difference to I guess anybody that makes sense is the fact that they're married. They married them. I guess it didn't matter about the age. R. Kelly and them, I guess, did them and kept it pushing, so it's a difference. And they black.
Speaking of marrying, his wife, she went through the whole case, and I watched the series. First of all, I think they should not have played that series before they had his case. That's number one.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's damning by itself. You cannot have that kind and then expect the jurors not to have seen it. Mm-hmm. And I tell people a lot of time, I believe they convicted R. Kelly because he was freaky. Yeah, what I'm saying? Because of anything else. Because they didn't really prove a lot. It was all about emotion. Everybody was emotional because these people said they were hurt, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, some of those people on that, those witnesses should have been dismissed because his wife, she talking about how he did not take care of his kids. She had to take care of everything by herself. He didn't give her any money. And then after the case, she made a video, it's on YouTube, that says, that's still my husband, and he could have been whatever, all the way over there, but he was here and he held it down, and it's gonna always be I'm gonna always have his back because it's my child's father, and he made sure he took care of us. And I'm like, wait a minute, you just said the exact opposite on trial.
Right.
And then she posted another video not long after that where she was with her then boyfriend, and they were listening to R. Kelly in the car. And she says, I'm with my new boo, listening to my ex-husband.
I think I heard it.
Yeah. Like, what?
Yeah.
I think people like that should not have had any part in that case.
Yeah, that's not
at
fair.
all. At all.
That's not fair to him.
But now this is gonna be kind of funny.
What?
Shawnee and Keon Henderson. Okay, so at first Megan Good married Devin Franklin. They got married, and they was married for a little while, and people were always talking about her clothes and how she dressed. Megan Good, and how she was the first lady and she needed to do this, she needed to do that, and Christian people are so judgmental and all this other stuff. I would say this. You knew you was married to a pastor before you married him. Mm-hmm. Okay? Megan Good is the least dressed actress in Hollywood. Black actress, anyway. She never has on clothes. Mm-hmm. Ever. And to me, I think she is insecure. She thinks that the only thing she has to offer is her body. She's a beautiful girl. But she never has any clothes on.
That's how she, well, no, I can't say that's how she, because roll bounce and stuff. I was getting ready to say that's how she basically came in, but what was waist deep the next, what was her?
No, she was in waist deep. Lauren London was in, no, that was ATL.
Oh, ATL.
Roll bounce was.
Megan Good wasn't roll bounce, right?
No, that was still.
Yes, it was.
Roll bounce was, no, that was the girl from, the Smollett girl. From,
the light skinned joint.
Yeah, but that was Jesse.
Am I tripping?
Both of them.
Megan
Good.
In there. Okay, Megan Good was in there.
In Roll Bounce.
2005.
That's the one that Bow Wow wanted to be with. He was trying to get with her.
Y'all ain't gonna sit here and tell me Roll Bounce was not Megan Good. That was the Jesse. No. I'll take that back.
Yes,
that was the girl that the dark skinned boy wanted to be with. That's the Jussie Smollett girl,
right.
the Jussie Smollett sister. The one that he wanted to be with was Megan Good. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, she
but
had,
even like
she had no clothes on. She had no top on.
But that's what I was going to say. Like, even what's that, waist deep after that? What's her next?
Waist deep.
So then she played like a kind of that role. So maybe that's what she felt like she had to do.
Then she went to.
But the preacher married her. Eva. The preacher, if you want to be real. Tomato. But this is the thing. It should be even more on him because you knew what she was. She shouldn't have to change if you decide to make that decision. Like, oh, I know what she do.
Wait, but now she also decided to marry him.
Right.
Okay, he asked to marry her. She decided to marry him, knowing. So now I don't care what you do when you're in the Hollywood scene. You wear what you want to wear. You go to the premieres, you wear what you want to wear, but you don't wear that to church.
No.
And people like, oh, and then you got people who like, oh, the Lord said, "Come as you are." Let me tell you something, and I hope my daddy's watching. You call in and correct me if I'm wrong. That had nothing to do with what you got on your body. Come as you are, sinner, not everybody's a sinner. You know what I'm saying? But saved, not saved, sinning, not sinning. He's talking about the person that you are. Come as you are, not what you got on your body.
He talking about everything the Lord said. Everything.
But I'm saying, when I read it, he's saying, "Come as you are." Now, if that's all you got on, if you're a streetwalker and you get the epiphany, okay, you know what? I need to go to church. I need to change my life. And that's all you got on.
What's too much for church for you?
What you mean?
Like, what would you consider too flesh? What she have on? What she was showing? Some skin?
She just like boobs out, the real tight dress, and they come midway to thigh.
So what you got to dress?
No. Listen, when I say this, is because this woman has a whole wardrobe, okay,
right,
to her disposal. Okay, you chose to put that on.
Yeah,
it ain't like that's all you had. You chose to put that on,
right?
And just like anybody else, when you get ready to go out, when you get ready to go somewhere, okay, and there's gonna be nice looking guys, or whatever. I don't know if you're single or not, but if you single and there's nice looking guys there, you're gonna put on something that accentuates a little bit what you got. You're gonna get your hair done up. You're gonna have your makeup done, because you're going to pretty much what my dad called advertise or try to gain attention from who you might be attracted to. So when I get dressed for church, I get dressed not only to look nice, AJ knows, I don't dress with turtleneck from here down to here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have on a nice outfit, but I'm also not being provocative either.
Yeah.
And I think there's just no place in church to be provocative, especially when you have the opportunity to dress how you want to dress. When you choose to dress that way, there's a problem. And I think she chose to dress that way. Have you noticed that Shawnee, after she got married to Keon, the pastor, her whole wardrobe changed. Now, she still has fly clothes. She still dresses her behind off, but she also dresses in a way that she can walk with him and not only be still sexy and, especially to him, but she's not calling out attention to herself. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying you should change who you are to be with anybody.
No, just certain places you just need to be a little more mindful of,
so I'm looking
of
up
certain things.
Excuse me. I'm looking up the pictures of them, just like some pictures, and all of them are like that. Like even what I'm saying that to say, what make if we can take a picture like this on the red carpet with your thighs out, I'm the pastor kind of grabbing her butt a little bit, and one picture the boobs is out and they kissing and being all like this in public. What's the difference? What
because
would you expect?
Because at that point in time, he's in her world. That's what she does for a living.
Okay, yeah.
But at the same time, how was he dressed?
But he got a suit on, everyone.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He still kept who he was, even though he was in her atmosphere.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He made it. He made it look. He was acceptable either way. So when you go now over to where, in his line of work, and you know what he does, why would you bring that? Because you walk in church with that. Who is anybody gonna be listening to what he's saying? The pastor's saying, no, they're not. They're gonna be too busy looking at you, which they shouldn't be, granted. But at the same time, you're bringing that attention to yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm like, I'm not knocking Megan Good. I think to me, she's a beautiful girl, but she's insecure just because of the way she acts. You don't have any reason to be insecure. You're one of the most beautiful girls in Hollywood. Yeah. You know, and you left a relationship that seemed to work. Even her husband was like, he still misses her. Oh. You know, but he said it was the most painful and correct thing he's ever done. Oh, make that make sense.
I mean, hey, he had to do what he had to do.
Huh?
It hurt him, but he had to do what he had to do.
Exactly. So, you got anything else, Angelica, that you want to talk about tonight?
Oh, no, I didn't. I did want to touch on the while we was talking about it, I forgot about the curriculum that we was talking
about schools.
Yes, I did real quick. Fruit had brought up the other day, we was on the phone talking, and she said, do you know they're not teaching the kids cursive anymore?
Nope.
So, you know, we got to talking or whatever, and it's like, so we sign for things. We all sign. We all gonna forever. Well, this is what I was thinking. We said that. But then I was telling her, well, I had e-signed something not too long ago, and they do it for you. You just put your type in your full name, and they sign it in cursive for you, which I'm sure that's how things will eventually be. Mm-hmm. But how are these kids going to put a signature on anything?
Exactly.
And that goes for, from, I guess, the whole Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole Gen Z wouldn't know cursive. They don't know cursive.
My son graduated 2021.
Jamia don't know cursive.
He was, yes, she does now.
Okay.
I had to teach her cursive.
I know
I taught her cursive.
Okay.
Because Jacob's class was the last class that they taught cursive to.
Yep.
Coming out of school. Now he graduated 2021. Okay. Now.
Oh, that's not. So they was. They have been teaching it because that's not bad. It's only 23.
But no. They teach cursive in like the beginning of middle school.
Oh right. Okay. That's
in the end of elementary, really, but beginning of in the middle of middle school.
We were saying when you first start writing, you learn how to do both.
Yeah,
you got to write
it was
big
like
A,
that.
little a, big in cursive, little in cursive, and that was kindergarten.
I met someone
grade.
that was 21 years old. She said,
"You guys talk into." They said your mic, so we'll talking to the mic.
Okay.
Her second grade teacher taught her class cursive because the teacher wanted them to know, not because it was in the school's curriculum for their kids to know. So if she's 21 now, when she was in second grade, that's what, 7, 8? It's been that long. Because she said she can only write her name because that is what she was taught. She cannot do the alphabet. She has no idea how to form, the letters.
Which is sad.
It's sad. Because a signature is going to be the one thing that everybody has to use.
We're not going to need it.
But because of COVID and because everybody went to virtual and everything's being typed, there was no reason to sign anything. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't know that when I found out that my son really didn't know cursive when he was in middle school, when he went to 7th grade. When he had to do a physical to play football. And in the physical, you had to sign your name. I signed my name on one side and he signed his name on the other side. And I saw that not only was he using a pencil, but he was writing his name. And I said, wait a minute. I said, you get to sign that name. And he's like, I am. I'm like, no. He says, you mean cursive? I said, yes. And so I made him, he knew how to do it. He just didn't. And so I said, I made him start writing his name, signing his name. And so when it came to Jamia, I found it the same way. She was, wanting to get a physical. I was like, no, you need to sign your name. Stop printing anybody can print your name. Very few people can duplicate your signature.
Right.
I said, sign your name. They do not teach cursive. Believe it or not, these teachers don't even teach punctuation.
Yeah.
If you look at the paragraphs that these kids type at school, and she already knows my kids hate it because when I read it, you're gonna go back and you're gonna fix everything. There's no capital letters at the beginning of sentences. They're run-on sentences for like three sentences in one. No punctuation, no commas, no nothing. And I asked his teacher once. I said, why? And she gave him an A. I said, why did you give him an A on this paper? Well, he had all the information. I'm like, but it was not even written properly. Well, we really don't. I said, well, we really don't worry about punctuations. No, ma'am. Everybody else is going to worry about it. How are you going to teach them about the world, about math, about writing, about history, but you not teach them about writing?
Right.
But you're right. There's no curriculum to even teach cursive. There's no trades anymore. You got kids that don't even know how to sew a button on.
We used to have the class on the baby, how to do the kid, and maybe that's why our generation is having so many kids again. Because remember they had to take
take the baby home,
and the baby would sleep, cry through the night and stuff.
That baby was bad.
Maybe that was too. That
was supposed to be a deterrent, not for you to want to have more kids.
It didn't work. Well, it worked for me. I listen. I didn't have kids my first till 21.
Yeah, me too.
Because I had enough. I had Jacob. I had Jamia.
You had enough babies at the house.
Yeah,
you didn't need one.
I
had my first kid at 33.
Oh no.
But I had a house of what is it, AJ 7? Mm-hmm. I had a house of 7, so I had my share. Oh, that really just fell all the way over there. But yeah, I think the curriculum in school now. There was a gentleman that said he don't believe in homework.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was like, "Why are you giving them homework? We're already working, between 8 and 9 hours a day, sometimes 12. We don't really get to see our kids. When we do see them, we're home trying to fix dinner. Then we got to do homework. We don't have any family time. What's the purpose of homework?" And at first I didn't agree, but then now I do agree with him, because you're with them for 8 hours. You should be teaching them what they need to know in that block of time that you have. You have a whole school year.
So I would have to I would have to disagree, only because I'm very stern on, and I said this when he brought it up, when Maurice brought this up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very stern on it starting at home. Like, Jaja wouldn't know more than half of the stuff that he know if it was not for us teaching him at home.
Now, I'm not talking about not teaching at home.
Well, even that, like, so
I'm talking about the stuff that they're giving
even
them.
with homework, because I'm not gonna lie, it's not even one pack. They have like 3 pages to do, and it's like 1, 2, 3, like 3 front and back homework every night. And I don't know. I feel like it only takes about an hour to get it done.
But is the homework necessary?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is the homework necessary. So
you've heard me yelling at him.
Listen, yelling, teaching is something, right? Is all one thing, and then what I'm about to say is something different. So is it necessary? He learns, he does 3 pages. Next week, does he remember those 3 pages that he was required for a homework assignment? Like the brain is only storing what it's storing.
So much, right?
Like, was that homework necessary? Like, that homework, is it incorporated into a test? Like,
most of the time it usually is. But
Jabari said homework is very necessary.
I feel like it is, because you learned this earlier, and I said you heard me yelling for a reason. He learned that stuff just earlier today. So when you come home, you should just breeze through the homework. Why are you not remembering what? So if you're not remembering, I don't have a problem sitting right there next to my child, refreshing their brain of what the teacher might have, what they might have missed, like you said with Jacob, and the speech, the whole language barrier thing. I don't have a problem doing that, because if, like you said, if he came home, he swept right through and it was what it was. Okay, why is he doing homework if he already knows it? But he didn't know some of that. He didn't know it. And some stuff he knew, but it wasn't like he couldn't spot it right on. He has a booklet with words that don't mean anything. Ash, blash, blash, just words like that. But so he could get down the habit of just reading a word. Boom, boom, boom. Sometimes things that don't seem necessary, because like when I seen that page, I'm like, what is this? This is a whole 3-letter words that don't mean nothing. Just words made up. Dash. What is a dash? You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, what is this? and it might not seem like it's nothing, but now he can breeze through a word, and it's helping him also with his reading.
Yeah.
Like, like just helping him skip through and be able to. Some things that don't seem necessarily really do be necessary.
Well, Jabari said he remembers his sight words from weeks ago. A young mind is a sponge. Now, I'm not saying I don't think that kids shouldn't have homework. Don't get me wrong. I think if they don't finish what they're supposed to finish while they're in school, they should have to come home and finish it because they should have got it done while they were in school. What I'm talking about is like you talk about mountains of homework for something that is not necessarily necessary. It's more or less, I've seen a lot of work that my kids do that seems like it's just busy work. You know what I'm saying? Busy work just to say that they have something to do. What are you giving them that's actually gonna see the difference between what Jaja is doing and what Jamia is doing? Jaja's learning and he's building the building blocks right now to go into school and learn to read, write, arithmetic, all the other stuff. Jamia knows all that stuff. So now they're like, we're doing the Cold War, right? And the homework, it's like, you're not teaching me what the Cold War was and why it happened. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a story. That's literally reading a story, getting the information. But now I have to come back and I have to do a crossword puzzle for a ninth grader. A crossword puzzle about the Cold War. Or I have to look at a slideshow and answer 3 questions, and the slideshow is 12 slides long. What? Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it is busy work because the teachers have to have something to give the kids. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. Now, I'm just using her history class. Her history teacher is an amazing person. I'm just using that as an example. But I do think sometimes that it's more busy work than actual. I would rather her be learning something that she's going to actually use,
right,
than something that she's supposed to memorize for a test and then that's it. After that, what is that Cold War? Don't get me wrong. Everybody should know history, but exactly there's other things that she could be learning that's more beneficial to her as a Black woman, right, than the things that she's bringing home. But like I say, I think that, when it comes to homework, and I have no problem with homework. I help my kids, my child with her homework right now, and if she's stumbling over something, I don't have a problem helping her. But I have a problem if her homework lasts from the time she gets home at 4:00 until 9:00 at night. That's what I have a problem with.
Yeah.
Because there is no time for us to do anything together. And then it's got, now she's playing sports. She's doing band, and now she's about to play softball. And she gets home at 6:00. Now she's going home for homework from 6 until 11. We're not doing anything together. So I just think that there needs to be more of a balance in home life and school life. Because right now, school life is taking up 8 hours in the day and then 4 or 5 more hours in the evening.
Right. I was just telling my husband that, that we don't, we have a routine lifestyle, and it's very busy Monday through Friday, like very, very busy. It's just work, school, doing. Work. One get off work, one go to work, picking up kids, dropping off kids. One go to work, one go to school, picking up kids, dropping off kids. That's literally all that happens. Monday through Thursday. We off on Fridays. But Monday through Thursday, it's a literally pick me up. I drop everybody off, picking everybody else up, doing homework, cooking, and I'm going right back to work. And he doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Oh, I saw y'all's routine. Crazy.
Right. So, but I mean, I feel like until you get into a position where you are very much comfortable and you can sit back and relax, that's what you have to do for right now. You gotta get it together. You gotta hustle, and if running around like that is what it takes, then you just have to do that.
Yeah, but at the same time, me, and I had 7 kids at the house at one time, and so I had to go to work. The oldest one was there to make sure everybody stayed alive till I got home. But it was like an assembly line. I made one loaf of bread was a whole day of sandwiches. Make sure everybody had lunch. Or either dropping everybody off at camp and then going to work and then picking everybody up from camp, have to cook dinner. So I know the routine, which is why now that it's slowed down a lot more, it's like, and I have one kid at the house, it's like, I see now that a lot of times that work, the work that they have sending home with these kids, it keeps them buried in a book. And they literally, the only social life they has is in between classes at school.
Right.
The games that they may have.
That's why they're getting in so much trouble at school.
Yeah. But I'm like, and I get it. Like, oh, well, if they didn't have homework, they'd be out in the street. They'd be doing this. That's about parenting because my kids don't run the street. Period.
Yeah.
So I just think that there needs to be a little bit, it needs to scale back a little bit and focus more at school of work because there needs to be a family balance because then you build relationships where your kids do talk to you. They do trust you. They're able to have a conversation to tell you what's going on because if you're constantly running in the house, having to do homework, having to cook, and the kids are sitting there and they're doing their own thing and their husband's doing his own thing and everybody's just, and then when you get together, everybody's on their phones. They're eating dinner in different places of the house.
Right.
There's no family structure. But then when the kid is in trouble, well, why didn't you tell me? Right. We don't talk.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think the curriculum at school needs to be revamped a little bit.
Yeah, take the gay stuff out. Nothing wrong with being, I'm all, for the gay. But take it. It does not.
It does not need to be in the curriculum.
Learn. It's nothing to be learned. You don't teach my kids about that. Like if that's what you're gonna teach the kids.
Who are you to teach my kid anything like that?
Yeah, like that's not something to be taught. Like I don't want my kids to learn about they because now that, like I said, they're putting they into, the pronoun of he, him, she, her, them.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this, and I can't remember who said it. I don't know where I got it from. But, I've had people say stuff like, well, I'm bisexual. They said that your mics are low. Y'all need to come a little bit more. That, well, I'm bisexual or I'm this and I'm that, but you ain't never slept with nobody. I'm sorry, but you can't dictate what you are until you've actually had sex.
Both of them, right? With both.
So you don't know what you are. Stop. It's more of a trend than a what do you call it? Than a preference. Like,
a lifestyle.
A lifestyle. It's more of this is the thing to do.
Right.
And the girlfriends and then got them they posting the pictures or whatever. And I'm like, you're following a trend of what you see on TikTok or whatever, but then you don't know what that entails. Okay? You don't know what that lifestyle entails. And I don't think anybody, not in my household, I should be the one that teaches my children about religion, about sex, about banking, about how to run a household, what a mother should do, what a father should do, wife, husband. That's the things that I teach in my home, not what they learn at school, because your lifestyle may be totally different than mine.
Right.
Now, if my child grows up, they don't want to be Christian anymore, or they want to become Catholic, or they want to do, that's their choice for their life when they're old enough to make that decision. You can't tell a child who's 3 that they should be a girl.
Right.
There was an experiment, and you might have seen it on TikTok or Facebook, where this guy offered this little boy $10,000. He's sitting at the table. He said, "Would you rather have?" It's 2 stacks of 5,000. He said, "You rather have this, or do you want 3 Oreo cookies?" And he was like, "The 3 Oreo cookies." because that's what looked good to him. That's what he wanted. He didn't know the value of what the other one was. He just knew that Oreo cookies are good and he wanted them. So how can that child determine if they want to be a boy or a girl?
It was a video.
This is
to the chat. Remember, some lady holding her baby, and she kept saying, "This is a gay baby. This is a gay baby. Lord, please make this baby gay, please." And she was serious.
I never see that.
I said it to the group, to the Keepin. But yeah, she just, and it's people like this that really will. They're entertaining. I have a couple of people that I know right now that entertain their little boys, you know, acting a certain way or taking pictures a certain way. You have to correct that. There's something that has to be corrected. You can't just let it slide. Like, it's becoming the norm.
Yeah, the gentleman that went to the school and his son was in a princess dress, and they had been letting him do dress up in the princess dress, and he told them, "Do not put my son on a dress. I'm going to tell you again. I better not ever catch him in a dress again." Well, he came in school being belligerent. That was his child. That was his son. He has the right to decide whether his son puts on a dress or not. That's not your choice.
You know right from wrong. You know that's not something that's supposed to be going on. Well,
but then again, when you give these teachers so much power over your children, I'm like, you're here to teach my children the 3 R's. I mean, back in the day, reading, writing, arithmetic. That's it. Outside of that, their structure of who they are, how they're raised belongs to me, not you.
This is random, but I do remember the 3 R's. But writing does not start with.
It was just like a slogan.
No, I'm just saying. I know, but I'm just sitting here thinking, like, why did
it all started with the R.
Right,
reading, writing, arithmetic.
Why did they say that? I'm just thinking, like, look, that's how you know your brain you getting old. Because I'm like, why did they say that? And then writing starts with a W.
But I mean, it was the sound, not starting with reading, writing, arithmetic. It was all R's, you know. But let's go back to the gentleman the other night when they did the men's night. Okay, so the men takeover. Excuse me. And they were talking about how toxic the Dwayne and Whitley situation was on social media. And I mean on the show Different World. And what I was trying to convey to them was it wasn't the relationship wasn't toxic. I know what a toxic relationship is. It wasn't toxic. It was at that back and forth. You know, there's all romantic movies have it where the boy likes the girl likes the boy. They start off good together, and then something happens where there's a misunderstanding, and they break up, and he goes this way, she goes that way, and they always keep crossing paths, but never are single at the same time, or something always happens that prevents them from getting together. That's the storyline of every sitcom or movie out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was what Whitley and Dwayne were, you know. And to this day, they're probably one of the most iconic couples on TV. You know, and it wasn't, they were toxic. This wouldn't have happened at a regular wedding. No, not at my wedding. It wouldn't have happened. But it was showing that if you're not going to be with the right person, you know, being with the right person was worth the embarrassment of what happened. You know, would I have rather married somebody that I'm not in love with, that I could have just learned to love, or somebody that was already in love with? And I think it was one of the most romantic, you know, I liked it. You know, they talked bad about it the whole entire time.
I called in and I spoke on it. I said, guys don't, on Dwayne's behalf, guys don't get to, on her behalf, guys don't get to just barge in and stop everything. If you had it before, and that's what we was, and neither does females either. I'm speaking for both. But if you had it, and if you keep getting drawn back to it, regardless how you keep getting drawn back to it, it's obviously something. Like, stop running from it, because when the time comes, like it was time for her to get married, now you done embarrassed everybody and wasted everybody's time.
Yep.
You know, and
even your friends knew it. The friends kept saying, "Hey, you gonna say something?" "No, I'm not gonna say nothing." You know, You know, but everybody knew that although they were happy that she seemed happy with getting married, everybody knew there was a part of her that was in turmoil.
Also, Mr. Houston wanted to go back and forth with me a little bit about.
He watching right now
About the good guy. He kept saying that. What was the guy she was about to marry? His name?
Byron.
That he was the good guy and that Dwayne was the bad guy. And
No.
kept asking. What
How's he bad?
Because he was, according to Mr. Houston.
He was a sucker.
No, I say he was a sucker. But he was saying, he was calling him bad. I mean, he was saying that the guy was good because he became a senator. What is it? The senator?
Senator. He was a senator.
I said, well, and Dwayne played too much or, cheated. And they were both in school. They were both doing, good for themselves.
Dwayne never cheated.
He was not. So you didn't see? You didn't know the story. Because he said, he was saying that he that was one of the examples of why
he went out to not dinner. They met at a cafe. Him and a coworker.
Either way, I watched it plenty of times with you, and I know that it was no. They both were good. Just because he went out and became a senator, that's why I was like, so is it a money thing? I was confused. I never got my answer.
He was better because at the time he had more money.
Yeah, and that's what I told him. I said, well, so maybe it's a money thing, and he was like, no, he never questioned her about anything. He never, he wasn't.
So I mean, you can't say because if I'm with you and I never question you about anything,
I said he's a sucker.
That's a sucker.
What I told him. That's what I said.
Because you doing something out the ordinary, I'm gonna question you.
Okay.
Period.
I don't feel like that. When you say bad guy, good guy, it's like, oh, he's bad for her because he's downplaying her. He's using her for her money. He's beating on her. He's doing his thing. Not because, okay, he cheated a few times. She probably cheated too. Like things happen.
See, they say that because one girl, the reason why this whole thing came up, one girl posted about how Dwayne fumbled Whitley because he went out with he never cheated on Whitley. He went out to a cafe and was sitting and talking to this girl, and Kimberly Reese, her roommate, her best friend, saw them and mentioned it to her, and that started a whole thing. And she said, "Oh, I cheated." He said, "I never cheated on you. We just had dinner. I needed somebody to talk to," because she literally wasn't listening to him. He was trying to talk to her about stuff, and she would just not listen. And so, and I think when she was talking about how bad Dwayne was, but I said, well, wait a minute. You're trying to make Whitley seem like she's such this angel that deserved to have this man come in super off her feet. I said, but you forget that she, after she had already dated Dwayne, she was trying to get Dwayne back. She went out with Ron, his best friend and roommate, to make him jealous. She even kissed him. Dwayne never kissed the other girl.
That's what I was telling him about.
Ron.
It ain't no good guy, bad guy. They both did. And then he was saying because he was immature. He was in college.
He was a college kid.
Right, he was in college. It wasn't toxic. It was
not toxic.
I've seen Blueface and Krishan was toxic.
That's toxic.
Bobby Brown and Whitney, they was toxic.
That was toxic.
I've seen toxic relationships. This was not toxic.
They were kids.
This was misunderstood.
It was young.
It was kids learning how to be in a relationship. They were literally fresh out of high school at a college. And you think that they're supposed to have this knowledge of how a relationship is supposed to go. At first they couldn't even stand each other. First season. In the second season, we saw like a little bit of something between them two, but it never went anywhere. And then it was the third season where they actually started, dating and, things like that. Then they broke up the next one, how many years it was. But they were learning how to be in a relationship, And the senator, you'd think he's better than Dwayne because he had money and he was already established. But he was a lot older than they were. Of course he's supposed to be established. They were still 1 year. No, they were 1 year. No, they were still at the dorms. They were literally still at the dorms as kids, And so, but anyway, I was like, what you're not going to speak on is Different World, because that is my favorite sitcom. Yeah. I watched it day in and day out. I know the episodes before you even see, the first scene. I can tell you what's going to happen the rest of the show. So men tend to, like you say, not criminalize, but downplay the other men because they're not successful yet. But at the end, Dwayne became more successful than the senator. He didn't have a position in the government, but he was an engineer.
And what guys need to realize is, most of the time, the women fall in love with the broke guys. For real, for real.
Yeah.
They don't fall in love with the guys with the money. They fall in love with the money.
Thank you.
So if you got money and you just thinking, oh, all these women just fall in love, it's the
They
money.
love the money.
They love the money. It's the guys that don't have nothing at all that have females that's you know.
Go ahead.
That
Say
love them.
finish.
Yeah, it's the guys that don't have any money that got the females that's like really loving them, that's willing to, you know.
And not only that, but you talking about if you're broke and you have a woman who's there for you, she's beside you, she's riding with you, she sees that you have potential to be more than what you have right now. Mm-hmm. Now you find a woman that you already got money and she's, you know, got the bling in her eye, you know, and if you got money and she gets with you and, oh, she loves me, lose that money and see what happens.
Right.
You know, but then the flip side of it is the men that don't have no money, women build them up to where they get that money.
And then they act funny.
And then they want to act funny.
That's because they ain't never had it.
You know, now the one that helped them get it ain't good enough for them. Mm-hmm. Then they want to go for that classic Instagram model who is on Instagram trying to attract attention to get the man with the money.
Okay. Or get some money they sell.
Hello. Houston said, if you need me to call in, you just let me know. I made some comments on the radio station page. Yeah, go ahead and call in and say what you got to say. 919-899-9305. We got about 15 minutes left. But like I said, I will say this. I used to fall in love with potential. I don't do that no more. You need to at least have your stuff, you know, you don't need to be up and running, but it needs to be established. It needs to be in the beginning stages of something, because just because I fall in love with your potential don't mean you're going to live up to it. And then I'm sitting here doing what? Holding the bag, you know? And so I don't mind helping a man build what he's got. But I'm not going to help you build it and then watch you celebrate it with somebody else.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
What's the movie? Acrimony?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened.
Okay, so now that you brought that up, I'm going to ask you guys a quick question. These last 15 minutes. So we had that topic before, and they were saying that he gave her, I think, $10 million.
Yeah.
Now, he got 100 million, whatever he got. He gave her 10. Like, so he gave her a drop in the bucket of what he got from that. And they were saying, oh, well, she should be grateful for that because that's $10 million and this, and this.
$1 million over.
She lost her house.
Right.
Behind trying to give him
lost
money
10
to
million the first year. They was together years.
Years.
They was together years.
She lost her mom's home.
Mm-hmm.
They lost everything.
Bought the house back too. Gotta remember
that. They bought that. He bought the house back. I get that. I give that to him. Mm-hmm. But they was like, well, that was his invention. Let me tell you something. That's what I'm saying about
money.
He did not have the money to buy any of the supplies. He wasn't gonna
finish school.
Look, he did not have the money to build to buy the supplies he needed to finish making the system. He didn't have the money it took to take care of the house while he was laying home every day working on the system. So you talking about, well, he gave her $10 million. You missing the point.
She paid for his tuition to even before the battery.
Thank you.
She paid for him to finish school.
He could not have built that battery in the long time frame that he did have be working on it without her assistance. Mm-hmm. So in essence, we built that battery.
Okay.
So you can't tell me if I give you $200,000 and you go build my house that you're going to say, no, I built this house. No, baby. You might have put more manual labor in it, but I put the funds in it. Mm-hmm.
She did
So
all of it.
they
She did
so
everything.
they're saying that she should have been happy with the 10 million that he got. And then not only that, but you turn around, buy her the ring that you were gonna buy her, bought her
the boat.
the boat that you were gonna buy her,
Everything
bought the
said.
penthouse that you were gonna buy her. You didn't want any of these things. She wanted those things. You said you were gonna buy these things for her. Then you turn around and you buy these things for another woman, which just happens
Another
to be
woman
the
that you
woman
cheated, yeah.
that you cheated with.
Right.
You, I'm sorry, like you said, baby. I don't condone violence, but sometimes you take it there.
Yeah, because he didn't have to do that now. That was too much.
You know, and I'm like, and then you, yeah. To me,
He left too easy. He left so easy, like he was just ready. That's what he wanted to do, anyways. Like that's what he wanted. To do.
he made so many stupid decisions, like the decision when the guy first called about the battery, and he says, "Well, I need you here in the next hour," and he was delivering something for a big client for the family business who gave him a job. All he had to say was, "Hey, somebody wants to buy my battery. Can you guys please meet me at my house to get the truck to finish the delivery so I can get over there to get this done?"
It was
No.
he wasn't gonna make it anyways. That was one of them decisions you just had to make at a split second because he was never gonna make it. It was either go there or go.
Yeah.
Because they still didn't make it. Even they did meet him. Remember they caught the GPS.
No, they found out he was going the wrong way.
Right. They caught right.
And they saw him that he was at the house,
and
and
they met him
they
there.
went there and got it. But he
And
could
they
have
still didn't make it.
still didn't make it.
Nope.
You know, and so
He caused too much problems.
He did.
For the money to come. Which you sometimes you do have to go through trials and tribulations for the blessing. But you cheated. I know you ain't cheat after I done went through all of this. Wasting my time. The battery. You're messing up my house.
and then she couldn't have babies because of
Right.
the accident that they were in when she did run over the trailer.
She was
Right.
due to
She was-
anger.
She was certifiable. But he knew that too. They told her she had an anger management problem, and he
That
still
was
married
her
her
fault. He cheated off the rip. Like, girl.
off the rip.
That was the first thing he did was cheat. As soon as you bought him the car.
She bought him that car.
And he went and cheated.
But I think that people downplay the person who puts effort into the relationship. If I'm holding you down, if I'm 10 toes down for you, then there's no way that you're gonna sit here and downplay my importance, or you're gonna mistreat me. You know, just like in my situation, I raised 7 kids that I did not birth in this world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you talking about AJ? She was there. What? 2 long packs of pork chops. You know what I'm saying? 2 pans of biscuits. You know what I'm saying? The meal that we cooked when they were there were humongous. And I will say he was like, you know, look, I trust me. I appreciate everything you did because let me tell you something. That was not, and then I had to drive 2 hours to work and then 2 hours back home. You know, and any man or any woman who doesn't appreciate what somebody goes out of their way to do. And I told we was on the show before, and I told your brother, he win the lottery right now. I'm taking half of it because I need it. I deserve half of it. Take the other half and do what you want to do with it, but I need half of it because I've earned it.
So now he not gonna tell you.
Oh, he gonna tell me. He gonna find out. I'm gonna find
Call
out.
me first, brother.
Look. I run over
Let me
there.
get my end.
Hey, I'll take that Dodge Charger and run over that, run right into his garage, tear everything up. But no, I just think that, you know, I feel like people take advantage of people who are there for them. It's so many. In the Krishan Rock situation, I'm not even, you got like 5 minutes. Tell me what's going on. I haven't really heard about that lately. What's going on? Did she get back with him?
Who?
Krishan.
No. They she with some other boy, but they was just together on Thanksgiving though. Yes, they was.
Okay. Toxic. Now, for her to go back into that situation, that's toxic. Because she's gotten out and she's done well for herself.
I don't think she. I think she got a little taste of the air, so now it's just kind of like
She had a new house.
She got she doing good for herself, and I
She's
think,
doing very good for herself.
I think now she just doing it to be spiteful with Jaden. I don't really think she wants to be with him. She already said like him posting the picture of the baby private part was enough for her. I feel like she's just being petty now. Like, if I want my baby daddy to be here, I can. Why? Just to make Jaden mad. But she's got this Suave, her and Suave, they was cuddled up watching movies last night and stuff, yeah, so.
Got her teeth fixed yet?
Yeah, she got her tooth fixed.
I thought I saw her with her teeth fixed. But anyway, we got like 5 minutes left. Fruit, how long you be down here?
Till Monday.
Till Monday?
Yes.
You had to come more often.
Right.
She got a house now. She had a whole entire guest bedroom.
Yeah.
Look, I told my daughter we're gonna go over there. We just gonna raid the refrigerator. Me and the kids gonna go over there. Me and the kids gonna go jump on the bed. We just gonna hang out. We're gonna eat all the pizzas. Look, I can't do that because all she would do is leave the house. I find myself in the house with the baby.
Exactly. All right, I'll be back.
Because I think Jabari posted the other day, he was like, he woke up, he was in daycare. He had like 9 kids in the house.
We did last weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, we sure did. We had 9 whole kids. No, it was weekend before last.
Oh, wow. Where'd y'all go?
Nowhere. We was at the house. Just had a few kids.
She done moved out, and now she don't tell me nothing going on.
We don't be doing nothing. We'll be right at the house. We don't be doing anything.
Well, what you got coming up? You guys going on any trips? I'm gonna have to buy y'all a cruise because y'all ain't going nowhere now. Y'all used to travel all the time. What you got? You going back Monday? What do you do when you're in New York? I mean, do you work while you're in New York? Where you work at?
I work at the hospital.
Oh, wow. You're not a nurse, are you?
No.
I was saying, God bless you.
Okay.
I do food and nutrition.
Okay.
Yes.
Y'all hospital food good? Because the ones down here are just...
She said
We
it's
have
hot.
our days.
That's
We
any
have our
hospital then.
days.
Any hospital.
Yeah.
Well, you like when you go back, like our page, if you want to call in, we're here every Thursday night. Call in, give us your opinion on anything that we got going on. As far as me, of course, I'm going to go on a cruise.
Right.
I need a vacation. I'm gonna be.
Ursula, you just came back 2 weeks ago.
No, but you don't understand something.
She just went to Virginia last weekend. What was it? The weekend before that? She been gone every weekend.
But I was gone for a purpose.
Yeah.
It wasn't
still
to
a
just
trip.
kick back and do nothing and relax. This is that vacation. This vacation is literally kick back, relax, do absolutely nothing. Even though I got my kids with me, they got their cousins with them, so I don't even have to bother with them. They're not even in my cabin. You know what I'm saying? So I get to kick back and relax and just have me some peace of mind for a while. So
We had a good Thanksgiving, didn't we, Ursula?
we did. We had almost 20 people at the house.
I don't know.
We hope everybody had a great
it was a
Thanksgiving. Mott's Kitchen showed out with a baked turkey, a fried turkey. You know what else we have?
Yams,
Potato salad, collards, yeah.
stuffing, greens.
Oh my gosh.
Five cakes.
Eight pies, about 5, no, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 cakes, 5, 6 cakes. Yeah. My mama don't know she don't know what small is
It was too
at all. But we didn't have nothing left. We had just a little bit of food left. We ate everything.
Exactly.
But I really enjoyed you guys to come out tonight. We're gonna get back into the groove. Of course, we're gonna have Keeping It 100 After Dark. It's gonna be filmed at a different location. It'll probably be preempted because it's gonna we're gonna probably air it while I'm on vacation somewhere. But that's gonna be a norm from now on. We're gonna start doing that. So. Just look forward to if you haven't already, go to Keeping It 100. You'll see my picture, like and subscribe to the YouTube page. That's where all the videos are going to be. And last, before I get off, we went to the Still Got Game tournament down in Greenville, North Carolina. Houston Vines and Insight TV were hosting the game. I have never seen, and these were cats back when I was in school. So they're like in their 50s and they were dropping threes, they were doing layups. Like you said, they still had games. So we enjoyed ourselves. DJ 6'4" was there. He actually took 919 Honcho under his wing and they were tag teaming on the turntables, playing music. Most big DJs were like, but I got it from here. He was like, nah, come on, and he actually was going back and forth. They was tag teaming. So it was a real good time. Shout out DJ 64. Shout out to Houston for even having us out there. We really appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week.
Community Radio, WRLYL